Before I get too deep into this video, I just want to talk about how weird it is that this actually exists, that an Obi-Wan TV show exists and is coming out and is premiering in 2022, starring Ewan McGregor, starring Hayden Christensen. People who are around my age grew up with the prequels, yet the prequels were always disconnected from the greater Star Wars universe. Not a lot of people liked them, except for a handful of defenders. Even when Disney bought Star Wars and The Force Awakens came out, Disney tried really hard to connect the sequel trilogy to the original trilogy. Han Solo's in it, Luke Skywalker's in it, they continue some plot lines. Even the first few Disney Plus TV shows like The Mandalorian was heavily inspired and influenced by the original trilogy. The prequel trilogy always got the cold shoulder, even up until very recently. Yes, Jimmy Schmitz was in Rogue One. Yes, they mentioned midichlorians in The Mandalorian Season 1. But besides that, the prequel trilogy, again, was forgotten for a while. Now it's getting its time to shine, and it's crazy. It's crazy watching the Star Wars celebration and see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen take the stage talking about a show that they are the stars of in 2022. I don't mean just there to talk. Like, Hayden Christensen appeared at a Star Wars celebration a few years ago, and he was there to discuss Anakin and everything, and it was cool. But now he's there talking about a new project in which he is portraying Anakin Skywalker yet again. Ewan McGregor portraying Obi-Wan yet again. It's just very cathartic, and it's just crazy to me, and I'm very thankful this show exists. Anyway, let's get into it. This is going to be my review discussion of episodes 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi that just came out today, and it's going to be full of spoilers, so if you haven't watched, go watch the episodes, then come back and watch this. And also consider subscribing to the channel. I do TV show discussions, movie discussions, trailer reactions, that sort of thing. So this show follows Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine. He's living a very sad life. He has a very sad job, a very sad house in a cave looking over Luke Skywalker, a very sad existence. And then these people known as the Inquisitors come looking for Jedi, and they're hunting one Jedi that we don't know of. As far as I know, I've never seen him in any other show or movie. And amongst the Inquisitors, one of them is referred to as the Third Sister, and she really has it out for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Where all of the Inquisitors are just hunting Jedi in general, the Third Sister wants Obi-Wan. And the Grand Inquisitor seems to think that this is just so she can pull favor with Darth Vader, to be liked more by Darth Vader. I get the vibes that there's some deeper reason that she's connected to Obi-Wan in a way that we don't know yet. And she keeps saying over and over, and it's a plot of these first 2 episodes, that the Jedi hunt themselves, that their honor will make them always come to the light. They'll always be seen because they cannot not do the right thing. And we see Obi-Wan struggle with this very much in these first 2 episodes. The Jedi that I referred to earlier, he comes to Obi-Wan for help, and Obi-Wan denies him help, and then Obi-Wan sees his body strung up. And also going on is a subplot that I was not expecting at all, and that's Jimmy Smits and young Leia. We see Leia as a 10-year-old girl, and I was not expecting to see this. I don't know if this was announced beforehand. I don't know if this was in the trailers. The only trailer I saw of Obi-Wan was the one I did a reaction to on this page. I wasn't expecting this plotline. I wasn't expecting a young Leia to be a main character of this show, essentially the second main character of this show. And I'm going to be completely honest, I was worried at first because we had this engaging plot with Obi-Wan. We have him as a recluse on Tatooine, the Inquisitors hunting him down, him eventually being reluctantly forced back in to act like a Jedi. It's such an engaging plot. And then we kept cutting to a young Leia and Jimmy Smits. And it's not that I didn't like this, it's just that I was worried that we were going to leave behind this really good plot. The name of the show, Obi-Wan, the thing that we are signing on for. I had a feeling that we were going to leave it too frequently to see this less interesting plot involving a young Leia. But I was wrong. This plot very quickly merges with the Obi-Wan plot because young Leia is kidnapped. And Jimmy Smits goes to Obi-Wan and pleads with him to help find her, save her. And he does, and he's reluctant at first, but he does end up doing that. And the 2 plots emerge, especially in episode 2, and it works really well, and I liked it. I will say some of the acting from side characters is kind of flat, a bit funny, but this is not a flaw for Obi-Wan because it's very common throughout the whole Star Wars universe, all the Star Wars shows and movies, that these like side characters acting is kind of funny. But I will say that the acting from the main core of characters is very, very, very good. Ewan McGregor, he gives such a strong performance with just facial expressions. The voice he chose for Obi-Wan is so iconic, yet it's kind of hard for him to get too much emotion with that voice, if you know what I mean, because it's not his natural voice, and the voice is a bit odd when in times of distress or sadness or conflict, but yet that emotion really, like I said, comes out in his facial expressions. Ewan McGregor, I think, so far is giving one of the most subtle yet best performances of his career. And then obviously Joel Edgerton as Uncle Owen was phenomenal in the scenes that he was in, and Jimmy Smits. All the prequel characters are really, really good in this show, and the main core cast of characters, their performances are strong. Like I said, the plot progresses. Young Leia is kidnapped and Obi-Wan decides to go hunt for her, and that leads into episode 2, where we're on a different planet. It's not Tatooine, and I'm very, very thankful for that. I like seeing Tatooine. I like seeing the sand and the desert where the show started. I mean, where the Star Wars universe started with A New Hope. But yet, we see so much of it in The Mandalorian. We see so much of it in Boba Fett that I'm happy that episode 2, he's not on Tatooine anymore. On episode 2, he's in this city-like landscape, and it's really, really cool. And he finds young Leia and he saves her while being tracked by the Inquisitors. Specifically, like I said, this third sister is hunting him down, and the Grand Inquisitor, he keeps trying to put the third sister in her place, telling her that she's being irrational, she's being hot-headed, that she shouldn't be doing what she's doing. And this leads to a climax up on the roof where the third sister is about to fight Obi-Wan, and he's hiding, and the Grand Inquisitor shows up, and the third sister ends up stabbing him through the chest with a lightsaber and essentially kills him. Now, I do consider myself a big fan of the Star Wars shows and movies, though I am completely blind when it comes to the greater extended universe of Star Wars, the novels, the cartoons, the graphic novels, that sort of thing. Though I am pretty sure the Grand Inquisitor does have a bigger role in the universe. I've seen fan art of him and images of him from, I'm pretty sure, animated shows. And I'm pretty sure they take place after where Obi-Wan is set now, so I don't think he's dead. I just think he's sidelined for the rest of the show in order to, like, pave a path forward for the third sister being the main antagonist. Which I really, really, really want to see her get her ass kicked. I know she's got a hot head. I know she thinks she's tough shit, but in my mind, she poses no threat to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, maybe now, because Obi-Wan Kenobi's been disconnected from being a Jedi in the Force and his lightsaber for 10 years, maybe his powers have weakened, and I have a feeling that's the plot they're going to go with in order to make her seem like a threat. Yet Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith, he straight up fights a very, very extremely powerful Anakin Skywalker, arguably the most powerful he's ever been, and he beats him. He straight up defeats Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. And so I have a feeling he would whoop the third sister's ass in a second. And I'd really, really like to see that. And then, of course, at the very end of this episode, we get our first glimpse of Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader. He's like in his like water tub with the thing over his mouth and his eyes, and it's creepy and it's horrifying. He looks evil. He looks mad. And Obi-Wan learns, I guess for the first time, that Anakin is still alive. And that's not a plot that I was expecting. I just, for some reason, assumed he would know he was alive. But this is his first time learning it, and the look on Ewan McGregor's face, his performance as he's learning this information is incredible. And then shortly thereafter, we again, like I said, we see Darth Vader's face, and I think a Force link was sort of created between the two of them. And I think it would be really, really cool to see something that was very similar to Kylo Ren and Rey and The Rise of Skywalker, their connection, their link in Last Jedi. Anyway, that's my brief thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 1 and 2. I'm really, really loving it. Let me know what you thought about in the comments. And again, consider subscribing to this channel. I do TV show discussions, movie discussions, trailer reactions. I'm talking about Stranger Things later today. I'm going to be talking about episode 1, 2, so on and so forth. I love Stranger Things, so if you like that show, subscribe. And of course, I'm going to be talking about every episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi moving forward. But seriously, let me know what you thought about the show in the comments. I want to know.